What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got the rise and fall of Kyler Murray. Let's check this out. Mr.
Kyler
Inconsistent.
Murray has been a fascinating prospect ever since he committed to Texas A&M University. The dual-threat, dual-sport athlete was a rare package of sporting excellence. Tiny in stature, but loaded with talent. He has dazzled at times in the NFL for Arizona, but never quite found that extra gear to convince us all that he's the guy. From his questionable
I ain't gonna
work
lie,
ethic
bro.
to his
I feel like this might be a make or break year for his career, bro, or at least his time in Arizona. Cause if he has a bad year this year, bro, I could definitely see them moving on from him, or at least wait until his contract is up. But in my opinion, I will move on from him after the season if he doesn't have a good year. Cause there should be no excuses, bro. You got an elite receiver in Marvin Harrison Jr. You got an elite tight end in Trey McBride. You just got to target that nigga more in the red zone. Because there's no way your tight end going to have 1,000 yards and 1 touchdown. There's just no way. You got 2 good running backs in James Conner and Trey Benson. There's no reason why you should have a bad year this year, bro. Unless, unless the play calling is horrible. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way I can see it. But Kyler, bro, he just too inconsistent. Like, one game he'll throw for like 300 yards and like 3 touchdowns, like that game against Miami last year. And then there'll be some games where he throw for like 100 yards and 2 picks and 1 touchdown. You know what I'm saying? That's the package you're getting with Kyler Murray, bro. Like the inconsistencies. But he can be a franchise guy if he just locks in, bro. And stop playing Call of Duty, bitch. Like, bro, I feel like COD really fucking him up for real. Because won't there like a clause in his contract about that?
So, entering year 7 of his NFL career,
damn, year
is Kyler
7?
Murray's future in jeopardy. Growing up in Texas, Kyler Murray was always going to be football mad, especially as he came from a sports-centric household that immersed him in athletics from an early age. His father was a quarterback at Texas A&M in the 1980s, and his uncle played Major League Baseball, exposing young Kyler to sharp sporting brains across multiple sports. With his mother Misun being South Korean, Kyler has reminisced about how he stood out a bit as a kid, and how his mother helped him channel this into motivation for who he is today. He told KBS World English, she always told me to embrace the fact that I'm different and I'm unique. Because like I said, there wasn't many of us in the space that I was in as far as the sports world. It didn't take long for Kyler to then begin standing out in a whole different way. At Allen High School, Murray became the first player ever to be selected for both of the Under Armour All-America games in baseball and football. As a quarterback, Murray led his team to 3 straight state championships, posting a ridiculous unbeaten 42-0 record in the process.
God damn!
The kid was flat out unstoppable.
Who the fuck were they playing?
And a rusher, winning the Gatorade Football Player of the Year award, whilst also becoming the first player to be named Mr. Texas Football
that's the award that Janky Rondo thought he won, huh?
5-star recruit, but the hype wasn't just reserved
that nigga
for
be
football.
like
In
shit.
addition to all those accolades on the gridiron, Murray was earning a reputation as a baseball phenom as well. Already considered one of the top prospects in the 2015 MLB draft as a high schooler. Ultimately, he decided to go down the college route, enrolling at Texas A&M in 2015, where things were far from smooth. After battling Kyle Allen for the starting role as a freshman in 2015, Murray decided to transfer to Oklahoma, where he would have to sit out a year of football action due to NCAA transfer rules. He remained active by representing the Sooners baseball team, where he eventually impressed as a redshirt sophomore, posting a .954 OPS with 10 homers and 10 steals. In fact, he impressed so much that the Oakland Athletics selected him 9th overall in the 2018 MLB draft. Unfortunately, they never got to see him on the diamond though. You see, what Murray had been doing for the Oklahoma football team once he was eligible to return to action was even more impressive. After backing up Baker Mayfield during his Heisman Trophy winning season in 2017, Kyler Murray erupted onto the scene in 2018. Delivering a truly sensational season to announce his arrival as a top prospect for the NFL draft as well. An easy win over Florida Atlantic got the ball rolling before Murray landed 306 yards.
Kyler's running style be fucking me up sometimes,
with 69 yards.
You're on like a badass toddler shit.
Murray was a scoring machine, tossing multiple touchdowns in all but one game, including a 6-touchdown outing against Baylor and 4 touchdowns against Texas and TCU. He also notched a hat trick of rushing touchdowns in a 55-40 win over Kansas and surpassed the 100-yard rushing mark 3 times. He was electrifying. outpacing defensive backs on long runs and bombing the ball to all pockets of the field. Then, when the pressure ratcheted up, he somehow improved. In the Big 12 championship game against Texas, he completed 73.5% of his passes for 379 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions, to go along with 39 more yards on the ground. And not long after that, he contributed 415 total yards and 3 touchdowns against Alabama in the college football playoff semifinal, which the Sooners unfortunately lost by 45 points to 34. It was a frustrating end to a thrilling season.
Roll
He
Tide
had absolutely proven himself as the most electrifying dual-threat quarterback in the nation. His 69% completion rate for 4,361 yards, 42 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions to go along with 1,001 yards and 12 touchdowns on the ground.
Oh my
made him an
gosh!
easy pick to win the Heisman Trophy, along with almost every other college accolade that you can think of.
Holy
Most
shit.
importantly, though, he had
That's
clearly displayed a
5,000
level of
yards,
talent
nigga.
that was worthy of the top pick of the
Over 50
2019
total tuds?
draft. He had
That's
a powerful
crazy.
arm with good touch and timing, and his escapability and scrambling were truly elite. The primary problem was his stature. You simply don't get many quarterbacks that are 5'10", making Murray an outlier and therefore a significant risk. There were also questions about his study habits and leadership. More on that later. The Arizona Cardinals held the first overall pick in 2019, taking Murray, despite having spent their 2018 first rounder on quarterback Josh Rosen, who had been a disaster as
He got to be one of the biggest draft busts of all time. Definitely top 3. Jamarcus Russell, I don't think nothing topping that. I'm going to keep it a buck, bro. Rosen got to be right behind him at number 2. I'm going to keep it a
made
buck
Murray
with y'all.
the first
nigga.
ever
Like,
player to go in
bruh.
the first round of both the NFL and
Rosen
MLB
was
drafts,
so
whilst also
dog,
being the
man.
shortest quarterback ever drafted in the first round. It was a risk for sure, but one that initially paid off. Murray hit the ground running as a rookie, posting 3,722 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions through the air, as well as 544 yards
solid
and
rookie
4
stats.
touchdowns on the ground. He was an easy pick for offensive rookie
Picks
of the
definitely
year,
come
breaking
with,
several
you know what I'm
quarterback
saying,
franchise
a
records
rookie
in the
growing pain and
process,
shit.
and the improvements just kept coming. As a sophomore, he improved to complete 67% of his passes for 3,971 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions, while logging a career-best 819 yards and 11 touchdowns on the ground. This earned the Cardinals QB his first Pro Bowl nod, having elevated the team to an 8-8 record in that 2020 campaign. This laid the foundations for a momentum-shifting 2021 season. Murray and the Cardinals started red hot, playing the best football the franchise had seen since their NFC
And they started
Championship
off like
game
8-0.
appearance in 2015. A 7-0 record to open
7-0.
the season had
And
the
they lost
Cardinals
to the
pegged
damn
as favorites
Packers.
in the NFC.
AJ
and
Green
Murray as the
wanna
MVP
be dumb and
frontrunner.
shit.
He had 20 total touchdowns and 5 interceptions to his name at the time, shredding anyone and everyone on the ground and through the air. But then, against Green Bay in Week 8, an ankle injury derailed the entire thing. Murray missed 3 games, and when he returned, he posted a very underwhelming 2-4 record to close out the season, depriving them of the opportunity to win the division for the first time in 6 years. After posting a passer rating of over 100 in 7 of his first 9 games, he posted just 1 game with a passer rating of over 100 in his last 5. Then, in his first ever taste of playoff action,
This
a
game
55%
was so hard to watch,
completion
I
rate
ain't
for
gonna lie.
137 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and just 6 yards on the ground.
See what I was saying, bro? See what I was saying earlier, bro?
It's never going to be enough.
That's the package you get with Kyler Murray,
There's
man.
no way around it. It had
Same
been
goes
a
with Geno, but
disastrous playoff debut.
Geno, no matter how many picks he throwing for at least 300 yards, bro. So pick the over on his yards every single time.
The
Real
Cardinals
shit.
season, which had started so
It
strong,
was a game where he
had
threw for like
faded
300
away
yards,
in
3
embarrassing
touchdowns, and 3
fashion,
picks.
and Murray was a big reason
That
why.
nigga Geno
Former
got a
Cardinals
problem,
legend
man.
Carson Palmer even criticized him for his body language, telling the Dave Pash podcast, "The thing that concerns me is some of the leadership deficiencies that I've seen. When you're down in Detroit, even though you're faking it, you need to keep a rah-rah face on. There's just certain things you need to do as a quarterback." Despite these concerns, the Arizona Cardinals decided to sign him to a mega 5-year, $230 million extension anyway, which proved
Crazy.
far more controversial than they would have expected. You see, the contract included a clause that Murray must do 4 hours of independent study per game week.
Yeah,
This
that was
unsurprisingly
what I was
caused
talking
stir
about
as
too.
people questioned whether you should be paying so much money to a guy who requires contractual motivation to study.
That
Perhaps
is
this was why
insane, bro. That's like some Johnny Manziel type shit, bro. Cause I feel like if you know Manziel was any type of good with the Browns, bro, they would have probably put that in his contract. Cause that nigga, he did not like looking at film at all,
team
bro.
collapsed
That's
in
a
the
big
latter
reason
stages
why
of the
he didn't
2020
pan
season.
out.
Eventually,
And plus, he was on the
clause
Browns, so
scrapped, but the damage to
that
Kyler's
made everything
reputation
worse.
was done, and the memes were entertaining. Unfortunately, the 2022 campaign didn't give Murray much reason to cheer up. His performances continued to be up and down, and the Cardinals managed just a 4-9 record before things went from bad to worse. In Week 14 against the Patriots, Murray suffered an ACL tear that would cut his season short with just 2,368 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions to his name. By now, the pressure was mounting as people criticized Murray's contract. Frustratingly for the Cardinals QB, it would take until Week 10 for him to be healthy enough to return the following season and try to prove the doubters wrong. However, he was clearly still not
Damn, what is this
tossing 10
screenshot?
touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and 1,799 yards, while going 3-5 as starter. The 2023 season was the Cardinals' first with new head coach Jonathan Gannon, and the consecutive 4-13 records meant he was answering plenty of questions about the future of his franchise quarterback. Between the leadership concerns, injuries, and a lack of consistent performances when healthy, Murray was assumed to be on the hot seat, but Gannon stuck by his guy, telling reporters that he had no doubt Murray was the guy for him moving forward. Thankfully, Murray remained healthy for the 2024 season. A hot stretch of 5 wins in 6 games got the Cardinals to a 6-4 record and suggested a run for the playoffs was on the cards.
Yep, and
only
everything
for the
went to
team
shit after
collapse
that.
in the second half of the season yet again. 2 wins from their last 7 games resigned them to an 8-9 record and no playoff football, with Murray, yet again, not proving able to get his team across the line. In 3 of those losses to close
I really don't know
year,
what the
Murray
problem
threw
is though,
multiple
bro, because you can't
interceptions.
say that they didn't try to put talent around. You know what I'm saying? Because that DeAndre Hopkins trade, he really started to play his best football when they traded for DeAndre Hopkins. Then after that, I don't know, bro. I really don't know. But I feel like they do need to add another weapon, in my opinion, because outside of Marvin Harrison Jr., you don't really got much. Michael Wilson, he's solid. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Greg Dortch, solid. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? They need to go out, either sign Keenan Allen or Amari Cooper or somebody, bro, because they need help. And Marvin Harrison Jr. can't do shit all by himself. You know what I'm saying?
Ramping up the pressure on the franchise quarterback. He finished with 3,851 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions, to go along with 572 yards and 5 touchdowns on the ground. These are solid enough numbers, but the persistent issues in the second half of the season are reminiscent of what has been going on throughout his entire Cardinals career. When you factor in the lack of study habits and leadership skills, you have to wonder how much patience Jonathan Gannon and the front office will have. It certainly feels like 2025 is going to be a massive year for Kyler. After 6 seasons, he has produced just 1 playoff appearance, having been the first overall pick and with a huge contract in his pocket. Another year without could very well mean curtains on his time as the team's franchise quarterback. So, do you think Kyler Murray's future is in jeopardy? Let us know in the comments.
Hell yeah. I mean, hopefully he can elevate his talent this year, bro. If not, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That nigga gonna have to go out the door, bro. Because I feel like this is different than any other season, bro. Because next year's quarterback draft class, oh my gosh. Nigga, they could replace Kyler Murray in a split second. Real shit, bro. Shit, they could draft Lenora Sellers to be the Kyler Murray 2.0, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's much bigger than Kyler Murray. You know what I'm saying? Much faster than Kyler Murray. Has a stronger arm than Kyler Murray. So he'll probably be what they wanted Kyler Murray to be, in my opinion. But hey man, I wanna know what you guys think down in the comments below. Y'all let me know what other NFL videos I'm gonna react to. Without further ado, I'm out.
I'ma make them feel me, make them people when they chow me. And if you don't know me, I'ma make sure that you know me. I hate to say it, but I really think I'm broke. But I know I'm chosen, I really know I'm chosen. I know I'm chosen. I was just lost a year ago, but now I'm focused. When good at sports, this microphone can be my trophy. Not taking drugs, I found a better way of coping.